Well, let's go back to Nirupama Subramaniam, who joins us from Islamabad on this developing story right now that Pakistan has indeed filed a case against Ajmal Qasab in Karachi. Nirupama, we heard Pranab Mukherjee, the Indian External Affairs Minister, speak just a short while ago to say that India is still waiting for an official response from Pakistan. Is there a reason why the Pakistani government is not actually coming forward with an official response, if indeed they are taking these steps?
Yeah, I mean, it's puzzling that they haven't really yet shared that report with India. And they were talking about giving India a set of questions on which they wanted more information. In a sense that that demand for more information was expected because they were from the beginning saying that we are carrying out investigations and we want, and if these people have to be prosecuted, then we will need more information. So the entire, the build-up to this case has existed. It is not. I don't think it has come out of the blue because you saw the FIA saying that we are going to do our own investigation. They did an investigation. We as yet don't know what is in that investigation. This is presumably what they were supposed to share with India, and which they haven't done. But they have, by all accounts, Pakistan has been conducting an investigation, and I think there's been tremendous pressure to do this, and they have finally had to, you saw the whole admission about Qasab, and now if they have indeed registered a case against the other 9 attackers as well, it is an acknowledgement that those guys are Pakistani as well. So that would be a new development, and that would be a positive development in a sense for India. But also, if they registered these cases, I think there's going to be a real problem with what is their jurisdiction.
Right. I mean, if I can just interrupt you for a moment, we have Tariq Azim on the phone line from Pakistan as well, former minister in the Musharraf government and a senior leader of the Pakistan Muslim League Q. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. Can you tell us, you've been seeing the developments post the Mumbai attacks. Why is the Pakistan government not actually sending a formal response to India when there are steps being taken by, for example, today registering a case against one of the terrorists involved in the Mumbai attacks?
I think the response, if it has already not got to you, should be with you shortly. That's what I understand from the Pakistan government circles. You see, there is also some legal wrangles that probably one could have expected. We do not have an extradition treaty between you and us. So that is one issue. And the second issue is that if these people are indeed Pakistanis and if they were involved in any conspiracies, although the crime scene happened to be in Bombay itself, but nevertheless conspiracy is also a crime. So if they have conspired to commit a crime elsewhere and they happen to be Pakistani citizens, there is a legal case that can be brought against them. But one should not be upset, as I have said it before. I think India should cooperate fully with Pakistan. If Pakistan wants to find out any more information, I think it is in India's own interest to provide that information to Pakistan as quickly as possible. It's a complicated case, as I understand from the reports emanating here in Pakistan, that the conspiracy may have hatched elsewhere outside Pakistan involving another European country, could have been financed by people living in a Middle Eastern country. And in fact, they have said that there are people within India who cooperated with these people. So this is not a simple case as it looks, that you got somebody and immediately you go and pick up some other accomplices and hand it over to India. That is not as simple as that. So please, for the sake of getting to the bottom of this horrendous crime, and I must repeat that we treat it as a horrendous crime because we are victims of terrorism ourselves and we want to get rid of this evil. So please help us to help you, and that is very important.
Right. So if I can also just ask you, you're saying that it's very important that India help. You are a leader in the opposition right now. Do you see the new government in Pakistan, the Pakistan People's Party government over there, speaking in different voices for example, between the President, the Prime Minister or the Army, especially post-Mumbai? Are there different voices in Islamabad on how to respond to India?
No, I don't think so. I think the government speaks in unison in this. sometimes if you ask a question, it is just the event of this new communication age, that if you're asking a question of Prime Minister and somebody is asking a question of President at the same time, and if they even differ with in their whatever they utter in just a couple of words, and then those words can be picked up and they can be built into a whole long theory. That is not the case. I think President and the Prime Minister are in touch with each other regularly, and I think they are speaking in unison. Obviously, the two different persons, the words they use could be different, but in terms of a strategy, in terms of, you just recently they held the DCC meeting, a very important meeting in which the Joint Chief and the Army Chief, Air Chief, the Navy Chief, they all took part, and there was a very high-level meeting. And I think that this should show India that Pakistan means business, is serious about this issue. We are not taking it lightly, and neither there are any delaying tactics. And these things do take time. So please bear with us before you come to any conclusions, and help us. As I said earlier, please help us. This is not going to be the end of it. If we send you a report, that is not going to be a final document. And I think people within your government understand. I was listening to Pranab Mukherjee today, and I think he was absolutely right when he said we must not comment on speculation. We must not comment on media reports. Let's see the report itself. And if there are any pertinent, if we ask you some frivolous and some silly questions, yes, you've got every right to comment and say this is silly. But if the questions are pertinent and the questions relate to the matter, relate to this crime, then please give us the replies and give us that information, help us. And indeed, you will see that both of us cooperating together. We have already said we can have a joint investigation, joint commission. We are prepared to send you a high-level delegation there. They can visit the site. They can have access to Qasab. All things are possible. But blaming and then counter-blaming, I think, is not going to help the matter.
So you're saying that you agree with what Pranab Mukherjee said, that India should wait for an official response. Yet what we're seeing from Pakistan is virtually daily leaks in the media over there of what this government in Islamabad may or may not be doing vis-a-vis the Mumbai attacks. Why is the government there not coming forward and formally raising these issues with India? Why is it all coming through the press? We've not got any, the only thing that's been said by Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani or by the Interior Advisor is that they will be at some point sending these questions to India, yet they have not arrived. What is the delay at that end? Why is it not just being done?
I cannot answer that because I'm not in the government, but I spoke to a senior minister only yesterday asking these questions because I do speak to Indian media regularly. So I asked him this question, and he told me, yes, we are sending these questions officially through diplomatic channel. If you haven't already got it, please do expect it within the next 24 or 48 hours.
Right. So do you think that once those questions arrive, once there is this formally communicated to India, that there might be at some point some kind of moving on from this current impasse in relations between India and Pakistan?
I think hopefully once we do this, we cooperate on this story alone. Once this cooperation goes through, I think that will, I'm sure about this, that will put the pendulum in the right direction, and we will have a better understanding. This incident, horrendous as it was, has upset, the relations between the two countries. For the sake of peace in this region, I think it is imperative that the two countries go hand in hand in this and get to the bottom of this, get the culprits, get those people who have committed this horrendous crime, take them to task and give them the punishment that is due. Whether that they happen to be in India and there are any of these people connecting with this crime, whether they happen to be in Pakistan, as you keep saying, handlers in Pakistan, whosoever are the handlers, whether they happen to be in a European country, let's cooperate with them as well. And let's get rid of this evil that has beset both countries.
Right. So, one final question before I let you go. How much of what is going on with the investigations in Pakistan is a result of international pressure on this government? We know that the Americans have been in and out of Islamabad. Richard Holbrooke is there at this point in time urging Pakistan to do more to take action against terrorist groups that operate from within the country.
the terrorism has got many heads here in Pakistan. What's happening on our borders with Afghanistan, what's going on in Afghanistan itself has direct bearing on Pakistan. We cannot detach ourselves from what goes on in Afghanistan. At the same time, there are things happening in Balochistan, which a lot of people blame on your RAW and your agents working in Balochistan. That's another issue. I don't want to raise it at the moment. It won't be an appropriate thing to do. But there are a lot of things going on in Pakistan where foreign elements, foreign hands are expected. That they are involved in this insurgency that's going on, for example, in Balochistan. But at the moment, if we just confine ourselves to Bombay incident, I think I hope, for the sake of peace and friendship between India and Pakistan, we have had this 60 years of acrimony. Let's try at least 10 years of harmony between the two countries. Let's see if we can get along with each other. I think it's good for the people of both countries.